on Twitter and Periscope at Periscope. Or at
there we are.
Craftbeericans. There we are.
Hey, what's up, folks?
Hello, everybody. Let's. I want to get this intro. I can't believe this intro is not working. It's not playing. It's amazing. Todd did a great job. Did you hear it?
I did. And you know what? This is episode 99. We're counting backwards, obviously.
Because we're paying tribute to 99 bottles of beer on the wall. That was the whole goal. Because we're going to do 99 episodes.
Yes.
And at the 0 episode, we are going. Oh, we're on YouTube, right?
This is YouTube, baby.
We're going to get shit-faced drunk at 0. I can say whatever I want. That's what we're going to do. And hopefully we can have you involved with us. So here's an intro that we would love for you guys to take a listen to. And I hope that you like it. Tom Bryant Productions did this for us. So take a listen. Hopefully.
Baseball, barbecue, apple pie, and Momma. A few of the things that make America grow. But there's nothing more American than craft beer.
Real men have a couple of beers.
The Craftbeericans doing their part to make America better. One craft beer at a time.
You like a home and that's me.
A big thank you to Tom Bryant. It's pretty catchy. I like it. I think the last one's a Family Guy.
The first one was Family Guy for sure. I'm not sure. Peter Griffin. I don't know who the woman's voice was, though.
We'll have to ask him about that.
But we digress. Welcome to Craftbeericans. This is the first, it's the first episode, but episode 99. We are, as Tom mentioned, counting 99 bottles of beer. And the whole point of this is to kind of share our love, I guess, like with craft beer. And I'm learning things about craft beer, which is why when I brought this up to you, you had a much bigger vision for this than I had anticipated.
We're taking this global.
I'm happy about that because, like I said, I probably in the last couple of years have started drinking craft beer, but I have very little. I mean, I do appreciate Yingling, our first beer, but I don't know much about it, so I want to learn more, and that's why I kind of came to you for this.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in bringing on people to the show. That's what this is going to be about. Today we're on location at a secret hideout, which is AKA Kevin's house.
Yes.
We went big for the very first episode, the pilot episode. But our goal is to go on location around some of the other breweries and do some of these shows and learn. I don't really consider myself a beer snob. I have an appreciation for it, but I hope to bring some people on the show that really kind of get down to the science and why it is and why sometimes some beers are not considered craft beers because they've sold out or they've done something, it's different. So what I want to do is, as we grow this, I want to bring some back for me, I'd appreciate it. So, and you've got some great articles on your website. 123.
My123cents.com. It's a wrestling blog, but I've also, through the years, added some other components and elements to it to diversify and not just be about wrestling. I have a wrestling podcast as well. So, but the cool thing is the whole social media aspect of things. Where, like Tom said, we're on Periscope, we're on YouTube once again here. Sorry for losing the connection earlier, folks. I like working with you on some of these projects because you have such a wide knowledge of all these different elements of social media.
And it's fun to kind of take a different look at it. And people are always telling me, hey, that's a great idea, we should do a show. But how many people actually go through and do it? And that's one reason why we're so redundant today. We're trying to find the best platform. And that's what you do in social media, any business, any branding, whatever it is. You got to find the right platform, and you got to be consistent. But you got to start.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. So even though this might be the best beer and best episode we ever do, we still have to evolve and make it better. So let's dive into the show, man. Let's let people know what we're going to talk about.
That's right. Well, we're going to obviously talk a little bit about Yuengling, which my first experience with Yuengling was last fall at your house with a bowl of Wheaties. And I think it was based on an article that you had read about pairing Wheaties with.
Yeah, but which is funny because it was an episode you had it on WSIL. So when I was up early in the morning watching you on the news, I saw that and I said, you know what? Let's do this, and let's have Kevin come over and let's explore this. And you know what? We'll have to, maybe we can make that one of the videos, or we'll put that on a Craftbeericans so people can see, because it was weird because we went through these stages when we put it in there. It's like, you're like, and then we were, whoa, hey, this isn't too bad.
Yeah.
So if we were stranded on a desert island and there was nothing but Wheaties and Yuengling, I think we could survive.
You could survive, absolutely.
I agree, totally, 100%.
It's not ideal. I wouldn't suggest it every day. Back in the college days, maybe it worked. But, as an adult, as a father, a responsible member of society, maybe not a daily occurrence, but yeah, it would definitely work in a pinch. What is it, Tom, about Yuengling? Because everybody, when I was in Orlando a couple weeks ago and brought some Yuengling back, everybody that I took a picture of it with, or took a picture of the beer, talked about it and said, bring me back some. And I know it's scarce in our region of Southern Illinois, but what is it about Yuengling do you think is so appealing and so attractive to people?
Well, one, it's been established since 1829. As far as I'm concerned, it's the original craft brewery. Now, Some people argue that it's not really a craft brewery anymore, and that's fine. And we're going to bring some people on the show to kind of talk about that too. But it's what makes any business, what makes any beer great is the consistent taste. That's what people want. And that's what craft breweries sometimes struggle with, is that they've got this great beer that people buy, but they can't make it and mass produce it at a level that is going to be consistent with people's taste buds. So for me, it's the caramel taste, it's the smoothness, it's the well-rounded taste. This to me is a summer beer. Everybody has kind of an argument as summer beer.
Yeah.
Right. This one is if you were a Bud Light or even a Coors Light, it's going to be totally different because you got flavor. What you got here is this is more of a full flavor, what most people out there like, which is like the Budweiser, where it seems like it's a little bit fuller. Try a Yuengling. Try something a little bit different because there's a little bit of a caramel taste. You got that smoothness. The wheat is great. And then one thing that everybody worries about when they talk about craft beers is it hoppy? I don't like that bitter taste. Does this have bitter taste?
Not at all. Not at all. And my dad, who is from St. Louis, was down over the weekend and had never had it. And I grew up, in my younger years, drank the Bud Light, the Budweiser products and whatnot. He's all of his life, that's what he's had drank as well, being from St. Louis. So, but I was surprised because I've given him some local brews before and he wasn't really crazy about it, but he actually liked the Yuengling and said that, and he actually had a couple of them. So it is something that, if you are afraid of stepping outside of that comfort zone of your Bud Light or your traditional, locally or regularly known beer, Yuengling definitely something worth checking out.
It's a good transition beer. It's a good transition beer. And on that note, here, cheers.
Cheers, for sure, yeah. One of the segments we are going to do here is find someone who's trending in the news on social media, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, where you can find all of the Craftbeericans on those platforms. And it seems like, and I'm in the news, so I see it every day, Donald Trump. And we're not here to talk politics.
Did you go there?
I'm going there because we're not talking politics. We're not picking sides. We're not going to pick on him or anybody else involved in the race for the White House. But if he were a beer, doesn't have to be a craft beer. If he were a beer, what kind of beer would he be, do you think?
I've thought about this long and hard. A whole 10 minutes.
I was going to say about 10 minutes before we went on, yeah.
And it hit me. And you know what? If Donald Trump was a beer, he would be a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Now hold on, I got a reason for this. That's going to make everybody happy. Pabst Blue Ribbon is now going to thank us because we're going to increase their sales because people are going to buy the beer. And it's going to be both Republicans and Democrats. So here's my thing. Pabst Blue Ribbon, what are the colors they use?
Red, white, and blue.
Needless to say what you believe, Donald Trump is very passionate about America, right? He's just passionate.
He's passionate.
He's passionate, so he's got that. So that should make everybody happy about that part. Now, the naysayers, let's be honest. That was one of the nastiest beers I've ever tasted, okay? It's one of the nastiest beers. Now, it's good if you cook with it. It's not bad. It's not good to drink and have a good time or a social bit if you're kind of a craft beer snob, right?
Yeah.
Now, in our area, PBR is huge. It's very affordable. It's very cheap. Donald Trump is not cheap. So I think this will make everybody happy, but I honestly think that I nailed it. What do you think? I think I nailed it. PBR. Donald Trump.
That is good. I like that. I like that a lot. You got the red that matches his hair and sometimes his complexion. Face. Yeah. So we'll leave it at. I'm trying to think, maybe back in the early years, the college years, some PBR going on, but I haven't had that in a long time. So it's obviously still out there then, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I thought about the black. What's the generic one that just comes in a black and white can? I think you can get it. What's the store on the way to that has everything? Everybody stops off at when they go to Lambert's.
Oh, Boomland.
Boomland. It kind of. I thought maybe Boomland beer, but I wanted to step it up a little bit for the guy.
Yeah.
He definitely has passion. He
does, and let us know what beer you would assign to Donald Trump and why at Craftbeericans on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
And YouTube.
Anything?
No.
Those 4.
Yeah, and you can use the hashtag too. Put it whatever. Just let us know what you think. What beer Trump would be. So.
And there's a lot. You just said use the hashtag. Talk a little bit, because people are watching us, obviously, and learning about us through social media, which is obviously everywhere now. You can't go anywhere without somebody talking about tweeting or Facebooking or, we're making up all these new verbs. Snapchatting, YouTubing, doing all that kind of stuff. So I don't think people understand hashtags, because a lot of times you see somebody post something and it's, this hashtag is hashtag cool hashtag, and it's like, no, that's not cool.
Not cool.
So talk about hashtags.
So we want to use our hashtag, which is hashtag Craftbeericans, to connect with people in the craft beer industry. And that's really what hashtags were meant for. So, we're talking about America and we're talking about beer, but what it really means is when you use a hashtag the right way with a business mind, you're tagging people. You're getting them to promote your business and use that so you can go back and connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, for our craft breweries out there, which I would love to have a craft brewery for a client. Oh my gosh, I think I'd almost do it for free. That's a lie. That's the beer talking.
We're going to make that happen. I promise you, before we get to episode 0, after taking these 99 episodes and passing them around, you will have a craft beer client at Harness Digital Marketing.
Do not toy with my emotions.
I promise you it's going to happen.
Do not toy with my emotions.
I'm not. It might be the beer talking to you, though.
Well, great. The hashtags for craft breweries are, if you've got a name like Dogfish, you do hashtag Dogfish, and you basically tag that when you're doing photos as a consumer. And then what you want to do as a business owner, and what we're going to do is we're going to periodically check our hashtags for Craftbeericans, and we're going to engage. It's a way to get that demographic that core demographic that you want to connect with. That's what it is. That's what it's about. And people don't get it. Yes, there's some funny, I hate the hashtag I hate this or hashtag customer service. But if you use it right, you then, from a sales perspective, you can go back and utilize that hashtag to create sales, to create whatever you want, to share the wealth. I mean, you can't really give people free beer from a hashtag,
Sure.
but you can invite them to come in, get an appetizer, or do something. But it's a great way to connect with them.
So it's good for the business and the consumer then.
Mhm.
And are you a proponent of hashtags on Facebook? I know some people have tried it, some people don't. And I'm to the point now where when I even text, I use a hashtag. And obviously it's not doing anything, but
You're tagging yourself.
it's one of those things. And I think it's more of it's become a habit, but to promote the use and recognizability of a hashtag. And maybe remind people that, like on Snapchat, I use hashtag Craftbeericans. I know people don't use hashtags there, but I know that hopefully they're seeing that, and then they go on social media like, what is hashtag Craftbeericans?
And that's a whole, once you create these different demographics on these social media platforms, then what you do is you transition them to different areas and you try to get them to transition. So I hope that as we move forward, we have these great hashtags. Obviously, we plug hashtag Craftbeericans because it's our pilot episode, and we want you to use that. So please do. Anytime any of the questions that we've had, or if you have questions, use that. We'll periodically look at it. And as the show grows and we go more live, feel free to jump in with some episodes, because we're not always going to be up in the middle of the afternoon. We did this one because, well, you were going to be leaving, and we wanted to get something out there. So that's right.
And you used over at Harness Digital Marketing hashtag turn the light bulb on.
Right.
And it makes, when you hear it, it makes sense. It automatically, you're like, okay, this guy is creative and he's got ideas going on and whatnot.
Yeah. So you asked me earlier, what's the story behind the hashtag turn the light bulb on? And in a nutshell, it means more to me because when I was growing up and going through life, just like you had wrestling, I noticed early on that I saw these lights, like the traffic lights would go off at key moments of my life and they would come back on, like the actual overhead lights. Now, I know it wasn't necessarily divine intervention, but that's how I took it and that's what I believed. So I thought, hey, those were key moments in my life. And I had a lot of those in the military, and I still have those today. So when I was driving, I would see these lights kind of come on, and it would be at crucial points when I thought, am I doing the right thing? Should I just start my own business? Do I marry that beautiful wife named Beth Harness? Plug for the wife. Do I do those things? And the light bulb kind of became a symbol, and I just decided to share it. I wrote a blog article on Harness Digital Marketing. You can check it out there. And it was really, that was one of the most personal blogs I ever wrote because it really meant something to me. And it was more about sharing it. I don't care if one person saw it, but that's what it meant.
And the light bulb, then you've incorporated that into your logo and into your business and in your daily life, basically.
Absolutely.
And that's important to kind of get that identity, get that brand going, which is what we're doing here with Craftbeericans and all the platforms that we're using to get the word out about that. And also, we've worked together on a couple of different projects, and one of them being the Southern Illinois Men's Expo, which kind of morphed out of the Southern Illinois Men's Health Conference. And this past year, it was just back in February, actually, we did the first expo at Black Diamond Harley-Davidson. For folks in Southern Illinois, they know all about Black Diamond Harley-Davidson.
They're a great group of people, and they're always willing to help.
That's right. And Gold's Gym was on hand, one of our vendors and sponsors.
Don't go there. Seriously, Kevin, don't go there, man. You're going there. I'm glad I had some beer in me. I'm almost out. I'm gonna have to go get another one soon. And you've not even gotten half a bottle. You're a lightweight. And I have to go back to work.
That's true. I should speed things up here. But Gold's Gym had a push-up contest. And I'm not going to name names or call anyone out here because, we're all friends here and whatnot. But
we're friends. That's great. That's nice to know.
One of us didn't even get to the legal drinking age in the number of consecutive push-ups. And one of us got to about his own age, which we're both in our 40s, if anyone wants to know, without stopping. And obviously, Shane Smith, who owns Gold's Gym, and, you could show a movie on his back. That's how wide and, he's just...
We actually should do that. I'd love to see Tommy Boy on his back. That would be great.
But Shane, I think, pumped out like 100 push-ups.
Oh, he did. He
didn't even break a sweat.
No, and he decided to stop. It wasn't like, hey, I can barely get that last 100 in. He just decided, you know what, I'm gonna stop at 100. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And half the place was sitting on his back while he was doing it. It was pretty impressive. So we're going to we've kind of thrown the gauntlet down, and we're going to do Craft Beer Olympics eventually here, but also it's all in preparation for next year's expo, where we're going to kind of compete and see.
We're going to do live push-up challenge, right? I'm going to work my butt off and drink beer, and I'm going to kick your butt, man. My goal is to beat Kevin Hunsperger at the push-up challenge. Now, I'm a big guy. I'm a little bit bigger than you are, and you're going through this whole transformation of finding your abs. I'm just trying to find my next best craft beer, but I'm going to kick your butt, man. I'm committed that by next year at the SI Men's Expo, I'm going to kick your butt. Drop it.
And if nothing else, you know, Kerner Distributing hopefully will be back and have more craft beer for us.
I'm going to drink, and in fact, you know what? Every time I go down and do a push-up, I'm going to probably drink a beer.
There you go. That could be a fun thing. That could be an interesting training challenge.
Yeah, I could do sit-ups that way too. So stay tuned for that.
That might be motivational.
It would definitely motivate me.
Well, we are winding things down, and one of the things we had talked about doing when we talked about a beer, and I think we've kind of reviewed it and said good things about Yuengling, drink, pee, or message. So explain what that means exactly, Tom.
Well, we decided to do some sort of rating system that would be unique and different about the beer. So the beer that we're drinking today, and hopefully our guests, because when we have guests on, they're going to drink the beer too, whether they like it or not. They're going to have to say, would you drink it? Would you pee in the bottle? Or would you use the bottle to send a message for help, or just a message? So we've labeled this drink, pee, or message. So we have to decide today what we would do with Yuengling.
I think we know your answer.
My answer is drink it on a desert island with Wheaties. Use the bottle to send a message for more Yuengling and more Wheaties. And that's my goal. This one gets kind of like the 2 thumbs up for me.
Yeah.
I definitely would not pee in the bottle because it's too valuable.
I wholeheartedly endorse that idea. Like I said, I don't know much about craft beer. I don't know much about a lot of things, actually, once we get down to it. But that's why we're doing the show, for me to learn. And my previous craft beer experience was basically picking the coolest looking bottle, which
plays a huge part in the marketing of all these.
It does, because at least it gets you, and then you try it, and then you're like, oh, I don't like this, or, and that's what I like about craft beer too, is that once you've tried one, there are so many others out there to try, and so many great local breweries here in Southern Illinois that we will have on the show, and we will talk with and drink beer with those folks as well. But yeah, Yuengling, definitely 2 thumbs up from me as well.
Awesome. So you would drink and use it for a message, but you wouldn't pee in the bottle.
I would not pee in the bottle at all. Although I have, as my friend Chad, who I'm meeting in Dallas, says I have a baby bladder. So we drove to New Orleans 2 years ago for WrestleMania, and he doesn't like to stop. So then I had to start limiting my intake of beverages. So yeah, I would pee, but not in the bottle for sure.
Awesome. You gonna bring some stuff back, some craft beers maybe from.
I'm going to see what I can find. My brother actually lives in the Dallas area as well, so I'm going to catch up with him, and hopefully he can point me in the right direction of where to get some good craft beer.
Well, I'm definitely going to miss you. I'm a little bit jealous. It would be awesome. So maybe next year we can kind of do, if the show evolves, we can do the show from there and have a little fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I guess we didn't officially discuss the official sign-off here, but I'm Kevin Hunsperger, at my123cents, at Kevin Hunsperger on all your social media platforms, along with Craftbeericans.
Awesome. I'm Tom Harness with Harness Digital Marketing, and you can just Google the name. That's how big we are. Just Google the name. No. And we really want to hear from you guys, so please let us know what you thought of the show. We're going to change the formats a little bit, but we want to pay tribute to America, to craft beer, and we just want to have a good time.
That's right.
So we'll see you next time. Big shout out to Todd Bryant. He wasn't able to make it today, but he did our intro, and we'll be using that more. So let us know what you thought.
That's right. We'll see you guys next time.
That's a wrap.
You want another one?
Thanks. Do I want another one? That's a question? Yes. Bye-bye.